Senator Murkowski.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for your service. I want to begin my questions to you, General Miller. You're nodding like you're expecting this, so yes, I have an excellent team. Thank you very much. I want to talk about the JITC. This is the Joint Integrated Testing and Training Center at JBER, one of the Air Force's top priorities for MILCON. In the FY26-1 files that the committee received last week, the Air Force increases that request to $152 million in FY26 authorizations. Can you share with the committee how we jumped? This was always a significant project. It was big, even in Air Force terms, but increasing from $97 million to $152 million, and also whether or not we should expect any delays or other consequences in the project based on the late addition to the scope of the project.
Yes, Senator, thank you. The JITC, the importance of the JITC can, I don't have the words to describe how important it is to the Joint Force, to the air domain. So you know the mission analysis behind that. In the analysis as we were going forward, the power requirements, because of that unique capability that the JITC brings, drove an additional substation that was required, so $105 million additional dollars. That was the majority of the escalation. Is the power requirements are so dramatically larger for what the mission of the JITC will be. That was the escalation.
So can you share then, because you know the situation in Cook Inlet with the natural gas supplies dwindling, how is the Air Force working to secure long-term energy needs for not only JBER there, but really for the bases more broadly in Alaska?
So, Senator, I'm sure you're aware of the recent announcement for the microreactor at
Yes,
Eielson.
finally, we're pleased to see that.
Yes, ma'am. And that's really, I think, that's an indicator for the future for us, not only for a location that's so reliant on a source of reliable, that's repetitive, energy to have it there, but from a resiliency standpoint, from being able to island off of the grid. It was mentioned earlier in testimony that absolutely attacking our SCADA systems at the beginning of an attack from a cyber perspective is an easy take for an adversary. So if we have mission systems that are relying on a commercial electrical grid and thinking about the impact that would, the energy independence that it would give us to be able to island from an energy perspective on installations with critical missions throughout the United States and deployed. And I think the encouraging piece there is it's a 5 megawatt reactor, but to build, if there's additional requirements, to build additional. We're looking forward to that and seeing.
What's it going to do to your timeline? Are you worried about that? That it pushes out the timeline for the JITC to be fully stood up?
Time is not on our side on any piece of this, so I'll have to get back with your team on the specifics of the timeline. I'm not aware. I was aware of the dollar escalation from a time perspective. I think once they came to the conclusion of there's just no way to meet it with the current power requirements, they took that into the planning. I'll have to take that for the record to get you the details of the time.
Well, I would appreciate that. Let me turn now to you, Mr. Marks. Also, sticking with the energy vulnerability, we know the situation in Alaska, again, a great reliance on natural gas out of the Cook Inlet, and up in the interior there, specifically at Fort Wainwright, the concern about Wainwright being vulnerable to unexpected outages and operational issues. Wondering whether the budget request reflects appropriate funding levels to address energy reliability challenges like we have at Wainwright. And then I'm going to throw an extra question in here, and this is related to dual-use infrastructure. I have been pushing much more aggressively on what we can be doing within particularly the Alaska environment to move towards opportunities to construct projects that are able to serve multiple departments and agencies. I'm concerned about energy, and I want to focus on dual-use infrastructure.
Senator, thank you for that. First, being sensitive to time, I know the first one, installation energy resiliency plans are certainly part of what has been put into the program, and so I'll be happy to come back to you and we can discuss that one further.
Great.
Alternatively, on dual use, I agree with you. Partnerships and industry best practices are things that we need to continue to pursue, and so also that's something that we can share together, and I'll be happy to come back and meet with you on that.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I have many questions that I'll submit for the record, but I appreciate the individuals being here today.
Thank you. Senator Baldwin.